The trial of conspirators against Ramses III. The reign of Pharaoh Ramses III, c. 1186 to 1155 BCE, the second ruler of Egypt's 20th dynasty, is often remembered as the last of the great New Kingdom pharaohs. He successfully defended Egypt against the Sea Peoples, maintained economic stability, and undertook ambitious building projects at Karnak and Medinet Habu. However, his reign was not without internal strife. One of the most remarkable episodes in ancient Egyptian history is the Harem conspiracy and the subsequent trial of conspirators that unfolded toward the end of his reign. This event illustrates not only the intricacies of royal politics, but also the sophistication of Egyptian law and justice during the New Kingdom. Background: the Harem conspiracy. Ramses III's court was rife with intrigue. By the 20th year of his reign, the pharaoh had multiple wives and numerous children, but the royal succession was uncertain. His chief wife, Tae, mother of Prince Pentuer, allegedly sought to place her son on the throne, bypassing the designated heir, Ramesses IV. The exact motivations are debated, but Egyptian texts suggest ambitions intertwined with courtly power struggles and economic incentives, as the throne conferred immense wealth and influence. The conspiracy, recorded primarily on the judicial papyrus of Turin, also known as the Turin Judicial Papyrus, involved members of the royal harem, court officials, and palace attendants. The plotters planned to assassinate Ramses III, install Pentuer as pharaoh, and secure the loyalty of key administrative figures. According to the papyrus, conspirators enlisted a diverse group of participants, including minor officials, guards, and palace staff, demonstrating how deeply embedded the conspiracy was within the royal household. The assassination attempt. The harem conspiracy reached its climax in year 32 of Ramses III's reign. Historical and forensic evidence indicates that Ramses III was indeed attacked, possibly stabbed in the throat. Recent CT scans of his mummy, performed in 2012, confirm a severe cut to the neck that would have been fatal, suggesting the conspiracy partially succeeded in its murderous intent. However, the broader plot failed, as loyal officials and palace authorities quickly regained control and captured many conspirators. The assassination attempt reveals the perilous nature of succession politics in ancient Egypt. The pharaoh's life was not only a divine mandate, but a focal point for competing interests within the court. Harem politics played a central role, highlighting that women of the royal household could exert enormous influence and, in certain cases, threaten the monarch himself. Legal proceedings and the judicial papyrus of Turin. The judicial aftermath of the conspiracy is documented in the judicial papyrus of Turin, a detailed court record that provides extraordinary insight into ancient Egyptian legal procedures. Unlike other periods of Egyptian history, the New Kingdom possessed a relatively sophisticated judicial system capable of investigating and prosecuting even high-ranking individuals. The papyrus records the trial of over 30 conspirators, detailing their interrogations, confessions, and sentences. The legal proceedings were overseen by a special council, possibly presided over by the vizier or other senior officials. The accused included palace officials, attendants, and women of the harem. The trial proceedings reveal a highly structured process. 1. Investigation. Initial inquiry determined the participants and the scope of the conspiracy. Officials gathered testimonies from palace staff, which were often corroborated by other witnesses. 2. Interrogation. Suspects were questioned individually. Confessions were obtained under duress in some cases, though the papyrus emphasizes recorded statements and detailed accusations. 3. Judgment. Sentences were carefully recorded, reflecting a legal principle of proportionality. Punishments ranged from execution to forced suicide, and property confiscation was common. Key figures and sentences. Among the accused were Tae, Pentuer's mother, and various palace officials. Tae, while implicated in orchestrating the conspiracy, appears to have escaped execution, likely due to her royal status. Pentuer, however, was forced to commit suicide. Other conspirators faced brutal punishments. The papyrus lists executions by hanging, impalement, and burning. One intriguing aspect of the trial is the fate of Prince Pentuer. Historical accounts suggest he was allowed to die by suicide rather than public execution, possibly reflecting a measure of mercy due to his royal blood. Recent DNA analyses of mummies believed to be Pentawers support the theory that he died young under mysterious circumstances consistent with judicial records. The trial demonstrates both the severity of Egyptian justice and the practical considerations of political expediency. Executing a royal prince could destabilize the dynasty, so the council opted for an alternative form of punishment. Similarly, the harem conspirators' fates indicate that Egyptian law balanced punishment with social status, gender, and political consequences. Forensic insights. Modern forensic studies of Ramses III's mummy, conducted using CT scans and 3D reconstructions, have confirmed the violent nature of the attack, revealing a deep laceration across the throat. This injury corroborates the historical accounts of the assassination attempt, adding a remarkable layer of tangible evidence to ancient written sources. Additionally, these scans revealed a healing attempt in the mummy's wrappings, suggesting the conspiracy may have been sudden and that the pharaoh might have received immediate, albeit insufficient, care. DNA analysis has also suggested that Pentawar may have had genetic markers consistent with the royal lineage, supporting the idea that he was indeed Ramses III's son and a central figure in the conspiracy. Such scientific insights complement textual evidence and allow historians to reconstruct the sequence of events with unprecedented accuracy. Historical significance. The trial of the conspirators against Ramses III holds enormous historical significance for several reasons. 1. Insight into royal succession disputes. The episode illustrates the vulnerabilities of pharaonic authority and the lengths to which ambitious factions within the court could go to influence succession. 2. Documentation of ancient legal processes. The judicial papyrus of Turin provides one of the most detailed surviving records of a New Kingdom trial, offering insight into the structure, procedure, and penalties of Egyptian law. 3. Intersection of gender, politics, and justice. Women of the royal harem were not mere spectators. They were active participants capable of orchestrating major political events, demonstrating the complex dynamics of gender and power. 4. Corroboration with forensic evidence. The convergence of textual and physical evidence enhances our understanding of ancient Egyptian history, demonstrating the potential for interdisciplinary approaches in reconstructing the past. The harem conspiracy and trial also underscore the fragility of pharaonic authority during periods of political and social stress. Ramses III's later years were marked by economic decline, labor unrest, and external threats from the Sea Peoples. The internal conspiracy reveals how these pressures could combine with personal ambition to create deadly outcomes for the monarchy. Conclusion. The trial of the conspirators against Ramses III is a landmark event in the history of ancient Egyptian justice. It illustrates the high stakes of court politics, the role of royal women in power struggles, and the sophistication of New Kingdom legal procedures. The judicial papyrus of Turin remains a testament to the administrative capabilities of ancient Egypt, while modern forensic studies of Ramses III's and Pentawar's mummies provide irrefutable physical confirmation of the conspiracy and its consequences. Ultimately, this episode demonstrates that while pharaohs were considered divine rulers, their authority was constantly negotiated and contested within the palace walls. Ramses III's trial of conspirators serves as both a cautionary tale about the vulnerabilities of absolute power and a remarkable example of early legal culture in one of history's most enduring civilizations. Sources 1. Murnane, W.J. 1990, Ancient Egyptian Court Agencies, Chicago, Oriental Institute. 2. Kitchen, K.A., 1996, The Third Intermediate Period in Egypt, 1100 to 650 BC, Warminster, Aris and Phillips. 3. Godica, H., 1991, King Ramses III, His Life and Reign, New York, Academic Press. 4. Papyrus Judicial de Turin, Museo Egizio, Turin. 5. Hawass, Z. and Salim, 2016, Ramses III, CT Scans of the Pharaoh, Journal of Egyptian Archaeology, 102, 123 to 136. Dodson A. and Hilton D. 2004, The Complete Royal Families of Ancient Egypt, London, Thames and Hudson. 7. Redford D.B., 2001, Egypt, Canaan, and Israel in Ancient Times, Princeton, Princeton University Press. 8. K., 2006, The Harem Conspiracy, Pharaohs and Politics, London, British Museum Press.